guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Jen Palco. So once in a while I like to do a video just off the cuff. I didn't have anything in particular that I wanted to talk about, so I'm just gonna kind of see what comes to me and what I end up blurting out. So this past week I was sick with a stomach bug, which happens very, very rarely for myself. I can't even remember the last time, and I ended up fainting at one point, and really like not fun, but it was like 24 hours and done with. I don't know if it was food poisoning or whatever. So last night I decided to have pancakes for dinner because I thought, well, what better way to get food in me than through, nice fluffy carb-ridden pancakes? Because why not? And, and afterwards I felt very full and distended and all the sodium and stuff. But anyway, that's not the point. The point I wanted to make today was just basically ask a question. Why is it that we can have breakfast for dinner, but not dinner for breakfast? I mean, some people have chicken or steak for breakfast, but very rarely. Why is it a thing to have eggs or pancakes, breakfast food for dinner? It's very common, right? As a kid, we grow up and it's let's have not feeling well or comfort food. Let's have, eggs for dinner, scrambled eggs for dinner, ham and egg sandwich for dinner, whatever it is, waffles with syrup. But in the morning, we would never be I would never personally crave a ribeye steak or be I want some pot roast for breakfast, I mean, like I said, some people do it, totally cool, 100%. But I'm just making a point here that in society, we kind of go with the flow of things, how everything else is kind of accepted in society. So if other people or if the media or advertising on TV says, oh, you can have pancakes for dinner, you can have waffles for dinner, you can have eggs for dinner, we accept that and we think it's totally fine. But if we never usually see advertisements that it's bite into a, nice juicy filet mignon at 8 a.m. in the morning or 7 a.m. in the morning as we're waking up, right? So, just food for thought and why we do the things we do, because we're often influenced by the media, we're influenced by advertisements on TV. And a lot of times it's on a very subconscious level for ourselves. We don't even realize what we're giving into. So look at fast food restaurants. They make the colors of fast food restaurants very bright colors, very red or very bright yellow. These are all colors that in our brains make us not at ease. They make us more uptight in a sense, okay? And it makes sense because we're going for fast food, we're in and out, it's very quick, and that is what the advertisers and the marketers of the fast food chains want. That's what they want. They don't want nice serene green, light blue colors in their restaurants, nice aesthetic appeal, dim lighting, because then people would stick around too long. And the point of fast food, it's cheap in price because they don't want people, it's more about the volume than the value they're giving. It's more about the amount of people that are coming in. It's like Planet Fitness, $10 a month, right? It's more, they make their money more off the volume of people rather than the quality of people per se. So they're, in a sense, hoping that half their members won't even show up. And that's how they make their money. So the point is to be aware of these certain things that marketing and advertising have in our brains, in our subconscious. TV commercials are one of the worst. That's why you ever notice TV commercials are set at a little higher volume. You're watching something and then the commercial comes on and you're like, oh my God, oh, that's so loud, turn it down. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. And it's loud and the commercials repeat. You see the same commercial every time it's a break from a sports game or something. Well, they do that on purpose. They do that So it gets into your subconscious. So even though you're not paying attention to it, which you probably are because you're usually complaining about it, but even if you put it on mute, part of you is still looking at that commercial and it's still seeping into your subconscious mind. So what advertisers and marketers hope is that that stuff seeps more and more into your brain the more repetitive, the more repeated it is shown on TV. And eventually, you're going to go out and get a hamburger, or you're going to go out and crave something that you did not crave before. Or you're going to want like a Bud Light, or you're going to want even a new car or something, or it's going to implant into your head that thought that was not there before. So we have to be very conscious of this. The more unconscious we are, the more we will be affected and just be mannequins in a sense, where all this information is being pelted at us and it's breaking through. So it's like we're a very porous mannequin in a sense, and all this information is just seeping into our bodies, whether we know it or not. But if we are conscious about it, then we're not as porous. We put up kind of a protective shield all over our body and we deflect it because we're aware of it. So the difference is being like an observer, being aware of when something around us is trying to influence us, versus just being like a zombie or being completely on autopilot mode and not being conscious at all, which is where a lot of people live. And that's what advertising and marketing hopes. They hope that you will be living in this autopilot mode for most of your day, and that is where all this information can seep into you. And whether you like it or not, you will eventually cave, or it will implant something in your head that that influences you. Okay, it's the same with politics. It's the same with celebrity world. Social media world. Social media is one of the worst. It's one of the biggest advertising platforms out there. So you could take all these little quizzes online, like on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if they have quizzes. They probably don't, but I just got started with it, so I have no idea actually. But you could take all these little fun quizzes, all these little things that you click on, you notice, or on websites when you click on something to read more. It is all tracking you. It's all taking your information so that it can implant more information into you, into your head. So that's kind of the gist of how advertising, marketing works. So just be aware of this stuff, be conscious. If you're open to being influenced, then that's totally fine. But if you're like, oh, well, that's not right. That's not right at all. Then you need to practice paying attention to when these things are happening to you. And then you won't be as influenced. And then you'll be able to make better decisions for yourself based on your own thoughts and your own internal being, rather than on the external that's trying to influence you internally. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.